My grandmother was always there when I came home from school as a youngster. She would have a glass of chocolate milk and a peanut butter sandwich sitting on the step, and I would sit there and she and I would chat about the day and all that had happened. Mother's Day is one of those moments to step aside and to remember those incredibly special people in our lives. Our mothers, our grandmothers, our sisters, our aunts, our cousins, our nieces, our stepmothers, our stepsisters, and indeed all of the women who have shaped our lives for good. A reading which we often use at both weddings and at funerals reminds us, love is patient, love is kind. Love is not envious or boastful or arrogant or rude. It does not insist on its own way. It is not irritable or resentful. Love bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, endures all things. Love never ends. The death of one whom we love leaves an empty place in our hearts and in our souls. And yet today, we recall all those things which continue to bind us to each other and give thanks that love, sown through our lives, lives on forever. Love ties us to one another, and we are never far, even when we cannot be together. Today, friends, we celebrate all that made your mother and your grandmother, your aunts and your sisters, and your stepmothers and stepsisters so unique and so special. The way they told a story, their smile, the things which made them happy, and even those which made them sad. We celebrate the goodness and the grace and indeed the love which they brought into our lives and into our families, and the ways in which they made the world around them a place of joy and of hope. And yet Mother's Day, for many of us, is a day on which the pain of our lives, of the loss of this special person, feels most real and stings the heart and brings a tear. We feel that loss in our own lives today because we can't pick up the phone and say hello, or go over for a meal, or get a hug at the door. There is an empty place in our lives which just can't be filled. And for some, the relationship may have been strained or uncertain, and today is a difficult day to remember. The great grief educator and therapist, Dr. Alan Wolfelt, advised all of us who have known the loss of one whom we love to embrace the pain. For it is in walking to that which is so hard to accept that we begin to see what a great gift we have received in the life which was given to us over all of these years. On this Mother's Day, we invite you to remember with thanksgiving and to celebrate a life lived by placing a flower or a bouquet on your mother or your grandmother or your sister or your stepmother or your stepsister's grave or memorial site. You may want to remember them by having a favorite meal, or perhaps tonight at the supper table, retell their favorite story, or recall their unique, quirky habits, or share a time when they made you laugh so hard you thought you'd cry. Especially in these days when the world is full of uncertainty, Mother's Day is an occasion to give thanks, to remember and to celebrate all that is a gift of goodness and of love in our lives. For the words are right and true. Even in these times, love never ends. May it be so for you and for all whom you love. Blessings on this Mother's Day.